What's up, fellas? Welcome back to my world of modeling. I'm Dan here, as always, as you know, and in this video we're going to be looking at my model railroad room and progress on the model railroad itself. I know it's been a little while since I made that last video, and I know a lot of you are getting excited. I've gotten a lot of comments and emails about it and how it's been going. And first off, I want to say too, I've gotten a lot of great support and a lot of great feedback from you guys on building this model railroad. I've gotten a lot of great tips and feedback from a lot of the older model railroaders too, who have experience building model railroads, so they've been able to provide a lot of information to me through the comment section. Of course, just a lot of messages and emails. So that's the great thing about this community. You know, everybody's so willing to help each other, and that's what's great. I really like that, and I appreciate you guys being so willing to being willing to help out. Because like I said on here, I'm no expert. I've built models before. I do model building as my hobby, side profession kind of a deal. But I've never built a model railroad before. This is my first model railroad. This is the first time I've ever attempted something like this. And I'm building a very large model railroad. That is a big challenge. It's something you really gotta think about. You know, average people when they're building their first model railroad, it might be an average module. It might be a 4x8 plank of wood with some legs on it and a couple pieces of track, you know what I'm saying? I've basically gotten this large garage that I've completely converted into a model railroad room. There's a lot of space out here. So to get you guys summed up exactly how big this thing is, it's 95 feet long. That is a lot. So I had to overcome a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles, and because of you guys, and of course a little bit of research here on YouTube, watching a lot of other great modelers build their model railroads, I was able to put this thing together. And again, that's just the wonderful thing about this community. And again, thank you guys so much for all the positive comments and feedback. I really do appreciate that. You know, it's really nice to be able to hear from you guys. And of course, if you have any other tips, suggestions, let me know. I'm always glad to hear back from you guys, my following. If you have any little suggestions or things, I do appreciate the help. I really do. Okay, so since the last video, unfortunately, there's been kind of a cut. What happened was I had another part that I was going to upload between this one and then the last video that I actually filmed. What happened was that chapter unfortunately got deleted. And it's unfortunate because it's my crappy movie maker. I've kind of ranted about it before, but it's a very substandard movie maker. I'm not going to say what exact brand it is, but it's complete garbage. Anyways, they completely cut all ties with YouTube, so you can no longer export videos to YouTube. All the chapters of my videos that I had exported basically got lost into history and they're gone. So here I am pretty much at the finish line of building this thing, and I don't have any videos in between. So I do feel bad about that. I was kind of hoping to make some like trick tip videos along the way showing you guys progress and like building the benchwork and stuff, and it just didn't happen, and I apologize for that. So the good news is here, I did get a lot done, and it's been a hell of a lot of progress since that last video. So we got a lot to talk about in this video, and I'm going to try to breeze through it as fast as I can with still coming into some detail and explanation of how I do this. So let's go ahead and we'll get right into this video, guys. Let's go ahead. Well, as you can see, fall's upon us now, and we're getting our first bit of fall rain. The leaves are starting to change. But coming into this garage here, this is what you're going to see. We're facing south currently right now. You're coming into the main entrance of my garage, this little exit here. And since the last video, I've completely finished painting all of the walls, all the doors, all the trim. I've insulated most of these areas, patched up holes, that kind of thing. I spent most of the spring doing that, and I finally got all the walls painted. In here, over in the corner, I got like a little work office area. I got a little workbench. I got a space heater out here temporarily. And I got my large shelf built and installed on my wall. This is to mount and display my antique glass insulators, because I basically collect a lot of old antique glass insulators, the kind that you'd see on utility poles along the tracks to hold the wires for the telegraphs. I collect a whole bunch of those, so I'm going to be displaying them out here. Eventually I want to get some LED lights in this little shelf so that I can light it up. On the top of the shelf is a pretty neat little collection of vintage nickel plate railroad lanterns. These are actually my great-great-grandfather's lanterns. He used to work for the nickel plate railroad back in the 1930s through the 40s, I think into the 50s when he quit the railroad and I think retired. Anyways, I got those up there. I actually got some more in the house, but I got nowhere to put them at the moment. So it's a cool little space there. It's a little electrical box here. I got some of my storage stuff out here. I got my original nickel plate signal from my backyard living in Macomb. This is an original steam air nickel plate signal. They're very rare, but I actually got to keep the one that was right by my house, which is crazy. I currently have a dwarf I'm restoring right now. This is another, I think a Norfolk and Western style dwarf. And I got my CNO switch stand over here. These are all local finds too that I'm working on. So these are just part of my road collection. I got a lot of signs and stuff. There's that wall painted. And now what you guys really want to see, the model railroad. Check this out. I knew right from the get-go it had to be modular because with life right now, I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years. I could get married, I could move out, I could go somewhere else. I needed this all to be portable and easily removable from these walls, being able to basically move this stuff around. So I kept the construction very light and very, very easy to move around. All this is held together with a few basic bolts and supports, and everything is mounted to the walls with 2x4 supports here. But as you can see, the benchwork itself is very simple construction here, and it is all modular again. The harder parts here, all this was the easy section. Like the curve out sections I built last, and then the very last thing I built were these combining sections where they join the two halves of the garage together. These are basic 2x4 and 4x8 sheet construction. Everything is bolted together. With 4 bolts I can unscrew those legs. With 4 bolts I can unscrew these modulars from this table, and I can pull it out and move it around. Same on this end when we get to it. The hardest part of this was actually building these curve outs because they're a 3-part section that I had to basically put together and then bolt together once I got them constructed, and then I laid my foam board over them. So it's very simple. At this point you can see I've already painted it a latex tan to get it prepped for scenery and track and cork roadbed, of course. But again, it's all very, very, very basic construction here. As you can see, nothing crazy, nothing special. I was actually surprised how fast all this went together. Once I started building these modules, you know, I started from scratch here without any help. I got my tools, I got my lumber, I made a couple trips to the lumber shop, Lowe's in this case. Bought everything, and I think about 2-3 weeks I actually had all this benchwork built, and then in another week I had it all mounted. So I'm actually pretty impressed with that. And again, this is my first time doing this. The big thing I can say, if you guys are going to do anything like this, make sure you keep everything level. Have a level with you. That is extremely crucial when you're building a model railroad. Use a level. It is your best friend. Try to keep things as level and even as possible because you need to make sure this is flat and level. You know, wavy track, having large hills and unrealistic looking scenery like that, it really will affect your look of your model railroad and the track work. It'll affect your track work, the way your trains run. You need to make sure it's all flat and level as you can get it. And that's what I tried to get them for here. So again, very basic construction. As we actually go underneath here, you can see I basically have everything simple construction again. At this point, everything is prepped under here to get ready for wiring, which I'll get to later on. Right now we're in the track stage. Again, I got all the foam laid down. So I have the curve out section here, and this is going to be Fostoria East End, so we would be going west, and then we'd be looking east here in East Fostoria, because again, this model road is going to be based in Fostoria, Ohio. So we have the long curve out section here, one section here, one section here, one section here, and then one last curve out section for this side. This is all, again, modular construction. It's all very basic. These are all very lightweight modules. Easy to remove, easy to store. Alright, as you can see, we again have a curve out module here, and that leads into 3 long section modules here, going along the length of the wall. And then we come down to the 4th turnout, which leads into the next joining section. And again, I made these joining sections very easy to disassemble. I want to be able to move my car in here if I need to work on stuff. I make sure to measure this distance out, and my car does fit in here if I need to move it in here, like in a case of some harsh weather or a harsh storm or something like that. I can move it in here. I can pretty much disassemble this with great ease. So that was a great design idea I had, and it worked out pretty well. So over here, some modifications I made. I had to install an AC unit out here. I'm going to get this covered up for the winter, and then I got to start sealing in this wall here. But that was a big change I decided to make kind of last minute because it does get pretty hot out here in the summer. Now the shelving is a big thing out here. I obviously need to be able to store models and trains, and my big thing was I wanted to get all of my models out of the basement and out here. These are mainly empty storage boxes, but this was a big project on its own. I built all my own shelving. I installed it with L brackets, and as you can see, I got tons and tons and tons of models. These are all brand new mint and box cars and locomotives here, leading all the way up to this, and then this section. These are all brand new models. All these are already done, completed, and then I have a bunch of empty models, storage boxes out here, as you can see. So I got a lot of stuff. This is only some of it. I got the rest in my basement, like I said. I'm still in the process of moving stuff out here and sorting through stuff. I got a lot of stuff I got to sort through and sell off too. These are cars I'm keeping, and then I got some stuff I got to just go ahead and sell off because I'm probably never going to get around to working on it. But anyways, that was a big thing. I'm glad I built that, so it'll be nice. And I probably will have some like roll-out shelving or something down here eventually. And then my other idea here, once I get all this finished, is to have some curtains that can kind of hide this little bit of area here. I think that'll be a good idea. So basically that's it for the bench work. Again, not too much to say there, but I am very pleased with how it turned out. At this point, I got all the tools out of the garage officially. I got most of the stuff. All the foam board is officially glued down, so I'm pretty happy with it. And again, I'm in the process of painting it. One little tip again too, for any of you guys building a model railroad, when you're building these modulars, even if you get them perfectly level and flat with each other, the foam board will usually be kind of uneven. Make sure you sand your foam board down. In this case, I've sanded all of these seams, and in some cases I've filled some little cracks and stuff. But you really want to make sure that your transition joints between the modulars are nice and smooth. As you can see, everything is smooth and level and flush. There's no hindrance, so I can lay the track right up to this joint and vice versa on this section, and then have them joined together. So make sure that you sand this down. You can use like either a hand file, you can use an electric one of the what the hell are they called? They're like they're basically an electric sander. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I used one of these for out here, and it was a good call because now all of my transitions between the benchwork are nice and smooth and very even. Alright, so now that we got all the fun stuff out of the way, it's time to get into the nitty gritty and where I'm at now. Laying track work. Yay! Obviously this isn't a very fun part, but it needs to get done. Obviously I'm building a model railroad, not static benches, so I need to be able to start laying the track. As you can see, I got a shit ton of Pico switches, got flex track out here. I've been buying the snap track in bulk. This section here is going to be the Fostoria South Yard. In real life, it's a large staging yard that they use to store cars and stuff. There's 2 main lines, and then there's an entrance to the yard that leads into 3 and then 4 yard tracks down the road here. So as you can see, I'm just starting to lay out the switches and stuff. That way I can start actually tracing out the patterns, laying the cork down, and I know exactly where my switches, my turnouts need to be, and then of course my nice, smooth, even, large radius curve turnouts that'll run across here. That's what I'm working on right now. So I got the track kind of situated out at the moment, but I'm just kind of getting a rough estimate of how much space I need. I want to be able to have some scenery in the background, and of course a nice large parking lot area where you can basically set a camera and tripod down like this and then film yard activity, which will be really fun for all of you guys. So I got all of it pretty much laid out, and again I'm just figuring out where everything goes. Here's a bunch more switches. Like I said, I got a ton of these. I still got to order a couple more for this side. All the switches that I have out here right now are just for this yard section alone, so we got a lot of work to do. Anyways, you can see this all extends out. Eventually the yard track will just join back into here. There's a bunch of cork road bed on the floor there, some levelers, and then I'll have my turnout here, and then it'll of course go across, and then we'll work on this side. So the yard is definitely going to be first. There's the most switches and stuff to wire up. It's going to be an absolute bear. So that's basically where we're at right now. I'm in the process of laying track down, and then we got to get into the fun of electrical and DCC. So much work. Listen, what I got to say to you guys about all of this is don't get burned out when you're building a model railroad. That's what I can tell any of you new modelers who want to try to do something just like this. Don't get burned out. Right now I'm perfectly motivated. I'm perfectly happy with the progress. I'm very excited about it, but I'm purposely spacing this out as much as possible at this point so I can plan, check, double check, triple check, you know, quadruple check, and make sure I have every little detail worked out, because I want to be able to flow through this stuff and not have problems. I'm going to have issues. I'm going to have stuff that I got to work through, and that's just a trial you got to overcome with anything, not just model railroading, but anything. It's mechanics, plumbing. There's always little things you got to think about, and that's why I'm spending a lot of time right now just kind of dicking around and just working on other things, just taking little breaks, you know. Don't be afraid to take breaks. I know, especially for any of you new guys, when you want to build a model railroad, you have that motivation starting off, you just want to get it done, you have that angst, you want to get going on it, and that's fine. But I'm telling you guys, you need to take it slow. Don't just jump right in there and then unthink, unplan. You need to be prepared. It's not cheap either. This hobby is not cheap. So far, I think I've spent like $2 grand on this project. That's a lot of money, you know, especially in this day and age. You know, this stuff, it keeps getting more expensive. So again, I urge you guys, even if it's a small project, plan, prepare yourself, be motivated. If you need to take breaks, but do not get burned out. I'm telling you, it is easy to get burned out on this. You know, it's easy for you guys to watch this video now, and if you're about to build a model railroad, you feel that angst, you feel motivated, but it goes away very fast. I'm telling you, take breaks. plan. Step away if you need to, take breathers. That is my biggest advice in any of this that I can give to you guys. Don't lose that motivation. Take breaks. So that's all I really want to say about that. So at this point right now, like I said, there's still a lot of planning in the works. I got to get a lot more track. I got to get a DCC system. Still working on that, but it's all going to come along in time. I don't know if I'm going to have a new video coming up anytime soon with this. We'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of laborious track work and stuff. It's probably going to take some time. We're probably not going to be looking at another video at least till the winter, I think. And even then, I'm probably only going to have one half of this done. So like I said, I'll update you guys when I can. I'll post pictures as I can. But for now, that's pretty much it. So again, thank you guys for the feedback, the nice comments. I look forward to reading more. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Until next time, take it easy, fellas. I'll see you.